Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
All right, happy Wednesday or happy Pink Shirt Day, everybody. For us here on Primetime Local News, Connor Chan here with Elise Darwish. We're rocking our pink shirts because it's Pink Shirt Day. Because it's a good cause, of course, supporting anti-bullying as well. And we asked you on Facebook, what does kindness mean to you? So I'll ask you that right now. Kind of what does it mean to you?
It's a good question. I don't know. Kindness just means I like living by Ellen's. Be kind to one another. I think that's always Ellen's always got a good way of making sure everyone's being kind. So
exactly.
Yeah.
We'll have more. We'll discuss that more coming up later on in the show. But right now, let's head over to Brett Holden, who's live on location in Lashburn.
Well, I'm here standing next to the Miracle Cup. I don't want to touch it. I don't want any bad luck. But tonight, here at the Lashburn Arena, the Telemiracle 43 charity hockey game is going on. We will be talking to some of the organizers going on here. All the proceeds that are here will go to Telemiracle. $5 for an adult, $3 for a child. So come on down, show some support. That will be coming up in tonight's cast. Let's head back now to Elise, who has a look at your local news.
Great, thank you, Brett. Well, Lloydminster students are joining students across Canada in wearing pink for their Pink Shirt Day to stand up to bullying. And our Eric Bay has more.
Pink Shirt Day began in Nova Scotia and has now spread throughout Canada to raise money for anti-bullying initiatives while spreading the message that kindness wins.
I feel like it could be an emotion and a characteristic, but I feel like it's also something that you can share to someone to make their day better, and it can keep passing on to more people.
Pink Shirt Day encourages people to stand up for themselves and for others to put a stop to bullying.
Kindness means to me that if people get bullied, then they should speak up and tell them to stop and say, if you keep on doing that, then I'm going to tell a teacher or my parents or someone that I know that will help me through this.
Rendell Park Elementary School is also tying the message of kindness to resilience.
Yesterday, we had a big sort of setup presentation that tied kindness and kindness wins, which is our big focus, into resilience and how that's a protective factor and how kindness can help us deal with situations that are really tough in life.
Since 2008, Pink Shirt Day has raised over $1.8 million in support of anti-bullying programs in Western Canada. Donations can be made at their website. Eric Bay, Primetime Local News.
And this morning, Lloydminster drivers faced delays caused by a broken down train. The train blocked all crossings east of 62 Avenue, and the downtown area was one of the crossings affected by the stoppage. As cars were being directed to take alternative routes, the train started to move after being stopped for close to 2 hours. And a lot of layoffs have been happening in Bonnyville lately due to low oil prices, and many people are having a rough time making ends meet. But Primetime Local News' Justin Marshall found a way to help parents out.
Yeah, we're at the Players Lounge in Bonnyville where on Sunday, March 3rd, they're hosting a steak night fundraiser. But Kidsport doing a lot of good in the community of Bonnyville. Brad, you guys helped 68 kids in 2018. With the economy struggling, how can more people benefit from Kidsport in Bonnyville?
Yeah, it's pretty easy actually. You can check out our website, Kidsport Bonnyville. Just Google it, and we have an online application system there. You can fill that out and submit some financials just to ensure that the money is going to support the families who need it. And we'll get you approved, and we can help support low-income families in the area get their kids into sports.
So do you only do hockey, or is there lots of sports that you can get help with?
All sports here in the Bonnyville area, including dance as well. So, if you have some kids in gymnastics, dance, hockey, football, soccer, even school sports, we can support as well. So, times are tough here in the area, and we just want to make sure that local kids are getting into sports.
Well, I heard you can even do swimming lessons, right?
Of course you can, yeah. Swimming lessons just has to be a sustained sport experience.
All right, Kidsport, giving out over $18,000 to help kids in organized sports in 2018. For Primetime Local News, I'm Justin Marshall.
And Alberta veterinarians have voted on 2 resolutions regarding animal welfare. The first resolution will require vets to report any animal neglect or abuse. The second one is banning medically unnecessary surgeries, including tail docking and declawing.
As members of the veterinary profession, you know, it's one of our core values is to be leaders in animal welfare and animal health. And so these procedures have been deemed to not be scientifically proven to increase the health of the animal.
Alberta is the last province in Canada to put a ban on these kind of procedures.
In Alberta, is that I know a lot of people bring up the fact that they feel that by veterinarians no longer doing this procedure, that it's just going to go underground. And that perhaps we were one of the last provinces to go this way because we were still wanting to make sure that this was offered in a veterinary clinic, sterile procedures with anesthetic, things like that.
If you have any questions regarding the legislation, contact Lloydminster Animal Clinic. And students learn French throughout their years in school, and one class at St. Joseph Elementary School are taking their learning of the French language to the next level. Our Brett Holden has more in this week's Beyond the Classroom.
These 6th grade students are taking away the paper and pencils and are learning French in a little bit of a different way.
Well, intensive French really focuses on oral and lots of communication. So we want to have our kids have authentic French learning. So instead of just conjugating verbs and doing worksheets, we want to keep our kids interactive and actually have the chance to use it.
During class, students will go through exercises like applying what they have learned in the class to real-life situations and speaking to fellow classmates in nothing but French.
I just love this setting of this classroom because, like you said, it's not your traditional type learning, especially if you are a kinesthetic learner and you like to do lots of movement. This is such a great program for those students that like to move. You can't sit still for a very long time. Here you have the chance to participate, walk around, and get a different way of learning.
Beausoleil's class has also used technology to their advantage.
And even just communicating locally, we had students in our grade 7 room. They connected with other students from grade 7, so we had them use their Chromebooks, and we've done Skypes, we've done letters back and forth from kids in the division. And not only that, we've actually connected with other schools outside of the province and actually outside of the country, and have done a mystery Skype using French.
The change from the conventional way of learning is one students welcome as well.
Well, it's not like normal class. We learn a lot more stuff, and it's not just sitting in your desk and just writing stuff down. You split up and do fun activities.
For This Week in Beyond the Classroom, I'm Brett Holden.
Beyond the Classroom is brought to you by Lakeland College. Attend program information sessions and discover how you can take the lead at Lakeland. Schedule details at lakelandcollege.ca/info sessions.
And now we're going to go to Brett Holden, who is currently live on location in Lashburn.
Christina Schmidt joins us here at the CN Sportsplex, and you're one of the organizers of the event tonight. So let's talk about what exactly is going on tonight.
So we have a big hockey game going on that used to be really popular within the town of Lashburn. We had a teacher that has retired and moved on, and he kind of left it to whoever was willing to take it on. And so I took it on the last 2 years, and we have brought in community, we brought in some students, and they have to pledge $100 to play in the game, and some kids go above and beyond, raising into the 800 range mark. And so people come out and watch, but they can also come out and play some games in intermissions. They can come out and bid on some silent auctions, get some raffle items, that type of thing.
Perfect, and all money will be going to Telemiracle as well. So let's talk to the importance of an event like this.
I think it's so important. Telemiracle is one of Saskatchewan's big charities, and we love raising money for it. It's been something that I've watched on TV since I was a little girl, and it's always fun to watch the entertainers and see how much money we can raise each year. And being that all the money raised stays in Saskatchewan, it's just amazing that way.
Perfect. We'll have a little bit more coming up from here at the CN Sportsplex. Tonight, the game starts at 7 o'clock, $5 for an adult, $3 for kids and students. So if you do want to come down, show your support, come down. As mentioned, puck drop at 7 o'clock. We'll have a little bit more coming up from here at the CN Sportsplex. But first, let's head back into the studio now where Connor has a look at your weather.
All right, thanks very much, Brett. Take a look at the current temperature right now, -6 degrees with all sunshine. The sun is just about to set for us. Very much warmer day than it was over the last 2 days. It's going to get a little colder over the next little bit here. Take a look, though. The wind, though, is what played a major factor of making it feel more like -13. And, of course, with that wind chill, it does add up. And then, of course, it will be that way over the next couple days. Some records for this time of year, +7 back in 1985 and -29 back in 1996. Take a look at some satellite radar maps as a shift over here. It's a bit of cloud coverage starting in the Edmonton area, and it's going to make our way over into Lloydminster area over the next couple of days. We will get some sun and some cloud mix, which we'll showcase a little bit later on in the 7-day forecast. No watches or warnings to report in the region. As I mentioned, it's going to get cold, but not to a point where we're at the warning. Current temperatures around our region right now, like I mentioned, -6 in Lloydminster, a little bit warmer out west in Edmonton, -2 and -2 in Athabasca, -4 in Edson, -3 out in Whitecourt and over on the Saskatchewan side, -5 in North Battleford and Prince Albert, and -7 in Melfort and Saskatoon. As we get a little more in-depth around the region, -16 for North Battleford overnight. They're going to feel more like -23 into the morning tomorrow, but then tomorrow the daytime high a -11 with some flurries with the wind coming in from the northwest over 10 kilometers an hour there. Cold Lake -17 overnight with possible flurries, and then tomorrow they're also going to feel more like -23 when you wake up there, and then the daytime high tomorrow for Cold Lake -12 with a chance of some flurries there. For us here in the border city, -16 overnight, and then it's going to feel more like -23 tomorrow with that wind, so it may feel a little bit closer to -20 or just over -20 tomorrow with that wind chill coming in closer to 15 kilometers an hour. Take a look at the next 3 days here. It's going to be cold, so make sure you're bundled up. Daytime high on Friday, -20. Daytime high on Saturday, -21. That's a look at the next 3 days. We'll have more primetime local news and weather coming up after the break.
Welcome back. Well, just hearing the name alone causes confusion, and Gerard Lampow finds out the latest on Fusarium.
Fusarium head blight is a fungal disease that affects cereals at heading time.
Just as the plant is getting ready to flower, the fungus rears its ugly head and produces an orange to white discoloration. The disease is toxic, making the plant bad for livestock, so the loss of a cereal crop is a double whammy.
So when it comes into flower, if it gets moisture, it causes basically the kernels to shrivel up, and if they get a microtoxin called DON, D-O-N, it is pretty toxic to most livestock and really is an economic downgrade.
Even though it could be mixed into feed, farmers will have a hard time selling Fusarium-infected cereals. McKinnon says it's common on the eastern prairies, with the last big infestation in the west being 2016.
Triggers it typically is rainfall within 2 weeks of coming into flowering. So as the head comes out, if we have even rainfall or very high humidity, for us in the western prairies, it's rainfall within the 2 weeks, and it doesn't have to be a lot. And then in Manitoba and eastern Saskatchewan, they have high enough humidity at that time of year that it is a constant problem for them.
Clean seed and seed treatments, good rotations, scouting the fields, and fungicide application are some of the management tools as producers seek to protect their wheat, barley, and oats. McKinnon says canola, peas, flax, and mustard are great crops to have in the rotation. Producers can benefit from a webinar this Thursday.
Dr. Mike Hardy from Alberta Agriculture and Forestry, he's a plant pathologist. He's going to go through the life cycle and explain why we really can't let our guard down.
Fusarium, once contracted, lives in the soil, and with the right conditions, it can cause producers heartache. You can log into the webinar at agsolutions.ca/FHB webinar.
Once it shows up at harvest time, it's too late.
Gerard Lampow, Primetime Local News.
The federal and Saskatchewan governments have announced some changes to crop insurance. The governments say on average coverage levels are increasing to a record $230 per acre, up from $216 per acre last year. Premiums have remained relatively steady, with the premium per acre only slightly increased by about 20 cents per acre from 2018. The governments say the changes were needed because of challenging conditions last year. Excess moisture delayed seeding, dry conditions and localized flooding challenging summer growing, and early frost and snowfall delayed the harvest. Compensation for producers is estimated to reach $300 million in claims. And Manitoba is taking a different approach to club root, a serious soil-borne disease that affects canola that is spreading in the prairie provinces. The province says club root has been found in 33 different fields in 7 RMs in Manitoba, and the actual number is probably higher. Alberta and Saskatchewan have made club root a regulated pest, which requires landowners to take measures to prevent its spread. Manitoba has no provincial legislation that regulates club root. The Canola Council of Canada says club root is a key disease for the industry, and preventing the spread of club root spores through contaminated soil movement is critical to managing the disease. And that's your Ag News. Sports is next, but first we'll take a look at your egg prices.
Every member of the City Centre Auto Body team has been through extensive training. We're constantly upgrading our team's education to reflect current collision repair technique.
Taking a look at your local sports now, the Bantam AAA Bobcats had an eventful start to the postseason, defeating the Leduc Oil Kings 6-4. A strong start from the Cats had them leading 5-1 in the second period before the Oil Kings came roaring back to within 1 goal in the third. Reed McKay relieved the pressure late in the final frame with his third point of the night, allowing the home side to settle down for the final few minutes.
It made us settle down. We calmed down. We weren't as tense. We were just better everywhere.
Head coach Curtis Johnson says the players need to get back to what they gave them success in the first 2 periods, utilizing their speed and outworking the opposition each shift.
The first thing you got to do is take 3 hard strides. It doesn't matter if that's going to be your puck or who else, and then communicate with your fellow teammates. So, that's something that, we address in our post-game talk and, on the bench as well. It's just something, playing 60 minutes we have to do in Game 2.
Game 2 in Leduc kicks off Thursday evening at 7:15. And now we're going to go to Brett Holden, who is live on location in Lashburn today.
Christina Schmidt joins us once again here at the CN Sportsplex in Lashburn. And Christina, we are here within all the silent auction items. And let's talk about the silent auction items and the different raffle tickets that everybody can take part in tonight.
All right, so we'll start with raffle. So we've got different things donated by different companies within Lloyd, Lashburn, and Maidstone. So we had grade 11 and grade 10 students that volunteered for me to go out and ask companies to sponsor us. So we've got anywhere from fountain tire gear to some Lobo gear donated by some different printing companies. Lots of different things, some from Pioneer, some gift cards, some backpacks, stuff like that, and just different gear with different logos on it. The silent auction items, we have anything from homemade slippers from some of our staff at Lashburn High School to homemade baking, muffins, buns, cupcakes, anything like that, again from our staff at Lashburn High School. And then we also have bigger ticket items like a barbecue. We have gift cards for Subway. We have gift cards for, oh gosh, Border City Escape and stuff like that.
Just a whole bunch of a little bit of everything. You mentioned all the different baking. I noticed a cake with the Flames logo in it. Now I'm an Oilers fan, so that one hurts a little. Okay, good. That one hurts a little bit. But let's talk to just kind of the importance of, like you mentioned earlier, just this goes to a good cause and stays in Saskatchewan. But let's talk about all the local support that you guys got.
Oh, it's been incredible how much support we've gotten from companies that we don't normally associate with the school, 2 companies that we do associate with the school. Just everyone that has said that yes, we'll donate for sure, and they've given us a call and we've gone and picked something up has been incredible. And we so much appreciate being able to put on an event like this so that we can help out families that need it.
Beautiful. Thank you for joining us, Christina.
Thank you.
We'll have a little bit more coming up from here at the CN Sportsplex. Once again, tickets are $5 for adults, $3 for students. So please come on down, show your support, and that will be coming up at 7 o'clock tonight. For now, let's head back into the studio where Connor has a look at your weather.
All right, thanks very much. We're taking a look at some current temperatures around the region right now. -6 for us here in Lloydminster, -6 out in Maidstone, -5s in Macklin, North Battleford, -4 in Meadow Lake, -6 out in Green Lake, and a little bit colder out in Isle of Cross at -10. Further down west, a little bit warmer in Edmonton at -2, -4 in Vegreville, -5 St. Paul, -6 Bonnyville, and the warmest is in Lac La Biche here for this region, and -8 down in Provost. If you take a look at some other temperatures, -5s in Grand Prairie, -4 in Peace River, -3 in High Level, -9 in Fort McMurray, -11, in Fort Chipewyan. Switch over to Saskatchewan side, -11 in La Loche and Buffalo Narrows, -10 in La Ronge, -11 in South End, -15 Wollaston Lake, and -8 out down in Flin Flon. As we head down south, -11 in Swift Current, and -10 in Kindersley, -9 in Moose Jaw, -11 also in Regina, and -9 in Yorkton, and Estevan sitting at -16. Take a look over and down on the Alberta side, -9 in Lethbridge, -14 Medicine Hat, -3 Calgary, -2 in Banff, and -7 in Coronation. If you take a look at some temperatures tomorrow, it's going to be a little bit colder. The wind chill for the daytime high tomorrow will make it feel more like -20 for the day. Even though it says -12, it'll feel more like -20 because that wind's still going to pick up a little bit. Take -12 in Lloydminster as well as in Maidstone, -11 in Vermilion and Wainwright, -10 in Vegreville and Edmonton, -12 also in St. Paul, Bonnyville, Cold Lake, and Lac La Biche. Switching over to Saskatchewan, -12 in St. Walburg, -12 out in Maidstone, -11 in North Battleford, -12 in Green Lake, and -15 out in Isle of Cross. Take a look at some snow accumulation. No snow accumulation to report over the next 24 to 48 hours there. If anything, we'll get a little bit of flurries. That's just a little bit of blowing snow there. Nothing too major to worry. All that is more outwards of east out in Manitoba and Ontario there. Take a look at your next 7 days. -12, as I mentioned, on Thursday, the wind chill closer to 15 kilometers an hour, so it'll feel more like -20 tomorrow. -20 on Friday is the daytime high there, so that wind chill is going to feel a little bit more colder than it actually does with -23 into the morning. -21 on the daytime high on Saturday, but it'll feel more like -29 into the morning. It'll feel more colder than -29 on Saturday morning there. -16 on Sunday is the daytime high there, and that wind chill is going to get colder over the next couple days. And then as we head over to Tuesday, which we'll get to in just a second here, -11 on Monday with the wind though coming in from 20 kilometers an hour, so it could be over closer to -25 kilometers an hour and going up in the morning at -21 to start the day there. -10 on Tuesday there. It gets a little bit warmer, but not as much warmer as we would like with that wind. And -12 on Wednesday to wrap up the 7-day forecast there. Of course, that wind is still making it feel a little bit colder than it actually is. So we're not out of the clear yet with cold temperatures. Make sure you're still bundling up. Make sure you're wearing gloves and protecting yourself from the cold air. We'll have more primetime local news coming up after the break.
Well, we are back here at the CN Sportsplex. Tonight, as I mentioned, there is a charity hockey game going on. Telemiracle 43, it is put on by the Lashburn High School. That, as we mentioned, we do have a whole bunch of silent auction items up for silent auction, and as well, all tickets, $5 for tickets if you are an adult and $3 if you are a student. All money will go to Telemiracle, and that will be going on in March as well, as we saw the cup, and all money will be going to Telemiracle. That will be going on tonight at 7 o'clock. We did speak to Christina a little bit about that during our cast in a little bit ago, so that will be coming up tonight at 7 o'clock here in Lashburn. We'll have a little bit more coming up from here, but first let's head back into the studio for now.
All right, right, so in honor of National Pink Shirt Day and with the whole Kindness Wins campaign here in Lloydminster, we went to Facebook to ask, what does kindness mean to you? And I want to read this comment because it's really amazing what this person wrote. Kindness means a lot to me. A wave to someone, a smile, a hi, or a kind compliment to someone makes their day better, and yours too as well. Of course, we also asked, will you be doing a random act of kindness? And of course, she went on to say yes, she will. And I think stuff like that, like even just holding the door, just saying thank you, whether you're getting your coffee or even buying someone's coffee in front of you, just that pay it forward kind of mentality.
Yeah,
as well.
I was just gonna say that just because it's today, it's nice to do something for someone today because it is Kindness Wins and Pink Shirt Day. But every day is nice to kind of make sure that you make a little effort to do something a little extra for someone else, which is so easy to do, and it can change someone's whole day around. So.
Exactly, and of course we were at Co-op, the story will air next week, but you and I had a chance to follow around some Holy Rosary students that did great act of kindness that they did throughout the community.
Yeah.
The one stop, it was just one of the stops that they did. They went to do other things as well, which is pretty cool to see.
Yeah, so they did, they were handing out like cookies and tea, and they were just handing out balloons, and it was just so cool. And we just went to that one stop there at Co-op, but I was talking to the teacher, and she said she was going to go to the hospital and the RCMP and just anywhere in the community where they could spread some cheer, which is super cool. So
now I know you mentioned like what kindness means to you. Of course, you were saying you follow Ellen's
yeah.
motto to be kind to one another as well.
You try to, yeah. I think Ellen is a really good advocate for something like that, to just make sure to be kind to one another and make sure you put your best foot forward. So it's kind of cool.
All right, no, absolutely. Well, now let's keep the happy train going and let's look at some pets. Of course, it's our pet of the day segment here. This is Dee.
Pets are always kind,
submitted
right?
there by Carrie. And
Dee's cute.
Carrie says he's enjoying a spa day, actually.
Oh, nice.
Or not. Very cute there. This is Luna, submitted there by Nicole, all dressed up in her Superman shirt there. Very, very cute. Next we have Nixon and Duke, submitted there by Leanne. Very, very adorable.
Look at those faces.
I know, they're so cute, submitted by Leanne. Up next, we have Tinker, submitted there by Frankie. Very, very adorable.
Cute photo.
Oh yeah, very. Who doesn't love an upside down cat? And last but not least, we have Mott's, submitted there by Danelle. He just stole, Danelle said he stole his sister's bow. So that's the bow of someone else in there. If your pet was shown, you're automatically entered to win a Pet Pad gift card, which we're giving away at the end of the week on Primetime Local News. So keep those pet pictures coming.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Joined with Jerry Duhame from Carlson Travel today. Thank you for coming in today. It's always a pleasure to have you. We just wanted to touch on basically spring break is just kind of wrapping up and kind of still in the middle of it. Lots of people are still traveling around this time. So if someone is looking to kind of maybe avoid the spring break crew, where are some suggestions that you could go where you could still get that but maybe avoid the craziness?
Well, I think that there's lots of destinations you can go to avoid that. There's been a few that have sort of draw them to them, such as Las Cabos.
Yeah.
It tends to be more of a spring break destination. But places like Watuco discourage it. It's more of an adult and family-friendly organization or destination, so it's a fun place to go. You don't get that. And other resorts do refrain from that sort of partiness, where they have adults-only resorts, so you can avoid that quite easily, actually. And it tends to be the more discounted pricing or the 3-star or 3.5-star properties, so any family that wants a great vacation and to avoid that can just upgrade a bit and they'd be fine.
Absolutely, cool. And you actually just got back from a group trip.
Yes.
And if someone is interested in doing that, do you want to just kind of explain where you went and some of the things that you guys got to do if someone's interested in kind of being a part of something
absolutely.
like that?
It was probably one of the better trips that we've been on with our group.
Yep.
We had 29 people and we sailed on a cruise line called Oceana Cruises. And we started in Papeete, Tahiti. And then we sailed all around the French Polynesian Islands.
Amazing.
And the unique part of it was you couldn't actually pull into a dock on any of these islands, so you actually anchor in their harbors, and you tender in a small boat, and you're landing right in the center of the city. Amazing. And everywhere we went, the locals put on a little show. They had their dancers, and they had music playing, and they put little flowers in your ear or a belay around your neck. They were really welcoming the visitors. And I can honestly say that I haven't swam or snorkeled in any clearer water in the world. It's absolutely crystal clear. Even depth perception is a little tough because it's so clear you're not even sure what you're swimming in.
That's so cool.
Very effortless, but swimming in the no current areas where they take you for snorkeling, it was a real good experience for me.
Very cool. And with those kind of trips, you do take a group. Is it usually about that size, a group of 29?
It can be higher. We've had them as many as 120 on some groups, and as low as one time we did a French Riviera cruise, and there was only 8 of us.
Oh, there you go.
And we got to know our clientele very, very well. We had so much fun. It was very easy to get around with only 8. When you get 29 or 50, it's a little bit tougher. But it's all fun. We usually try to make sure we get together every evening and share our experiences. If somebody's looking for someone to accompany for dinner, we make sure they have someone to go with them for dinner. And it's just a lot of fun to get to know people whom you've never traveled with before.
Yeah, it's a kind of a unique way to do it where you can kind of bring someone that you travel with, but then you're open to meeting new people at the same time, and then you're with a group where it's already kind of planned and you can kind of just relax and enjoy. So
Absolutely.
Very cool.
When we do the groups, generally they don't look at their agenda. They just ask me what we're doing in the morning and what we're doing the next day. And so we just keep track of that and make sure they have fun. This particular one, we picked up people from all over Canada. We had some from Ontario, some from Manitoba, some from BC. So collectively, when we finally got to the cruise ship, there was 29 of us.
Very cool.
We started off with 16 from here and ended up at 29 by the time we got to the boat.
Awesome, very cool. And now, just real quickly, there's always some new deals coming up, and if people are looking for, maybe they don't necessarily want to go to a set destination and they're open to traveling somewhere, where are the current kind of deals that you're seeing?
What we're seeing now for last minute bookings, if you're looking for a last minute destination, is it's the destinations where there's we call it lift, the most number of flights tends to be destinations where there's maybe extra space available.
Yeah.
And so last minute here, I guess next weekend you could go to Puerto Vallarta for under $1,200, which would be your taxes and fees in an all-inclusive 3.5-star resort.
Amazing.
So there are deals out there if you don't mind waiting a little bit, and depending on what you're looking for.
Cool, perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming in. You're always full of knowledge, and we appreciate having you, Jerry. Thank you
pleasure.
for coming
Thanks
in.
for having me.
No
Always a
problem.
pleasure.
Thank you. I am joined with Jordan Moyer today, event manager for the Muck Run here in Lloydminster. Thank you so much for coming in today.
No problem.
So we just wanted to kind of promote the event because registration is now open.
Yes.
So do you want to just kind of explain for people who don't know what the Muck Run is?
Yeah, so it's our 7th Muck Run now.
Cool.
Basically just, it's not, we always avoid using the word like race or run because you come and it's just a challenge for you to have fun, to laugh. It's not a race. Like, some people do take it super seriously.
Right.
Some people are there, they want to be the fastest, whatever. The next goes with the group. They show up in ridiculous outfits and they're just there to have a good time.
Yeah.
So we try to come up with different obstacles and get you dirty, and it's just,
that's fun.
Yeah, 5 km. I think it is for the big one, and then the little one is undecided.
Perfect. Yeah, so I wanted to touch on that as well because you have something new this year, and it's called the Little Muckers.
Yes.
So explain that and how you can get involved in that.
Yeah, so this is our first annual. We're going to make it an every year thing because it's on Mother's Day weekend, so it only makes sense to
Bring your
involve the
kids.
whole family.
Totally,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And so it's our Little Muckers event. It's going to be basically the same thing as the big one, just yeah, exactly. For all the little guys to jump in and get dirty. I mean, they have no problem getting dirty, where the parents, I mean, more so like to go around the dirty obstacles. So, yeah.
So, and you're just explaining off camera that it's not necessarily the whole thing is mud. You guys have other cool things involved within it. And do you want to just kind of explain what else you can expect?
Yeah, so there's anything from mud, foam, just getting sprayed with water. There's climbing over walls, a little bit of everything thrown in. We like to change it up. Last year was my first year doing the event manager part of it.
Yeah.
So I threw in a couple new obstacles and got nothing but good feedback.
Cool.
So we're hoping to keep doing that every year, changing it up to make it more interesting for everybody to come out.
Absolutely. So for people who want to get involved, even if they don't want to do the run, there are ways to donate, correct? So how would you, if you don't want to necessarily get involved and get money, how do you donate?
There's lots of ways to get involved with the event. Like, we're always looking for volunteers to come out. You can grab a pledge form from us and just go around and get pledges. And I mean, it's for the Health Foundation. All the proceeds from the event go to our greatest needs at the foundation. So yeah, any way you want to help. If you want to run it, great. If not, we're always looking for volunteers. If you want to just donate money and put it towards a great cause, then that's greatly appreciated too.
Absolutely. And do you guys have a set goal this year at all, or where were you sitting last year?
Last year we had just over 300 runners come out. So with registration for the adults, it's $50 each, and then for the little guys, it's $35. So that includes like your muck run T-shirt, and then you get a bag of goodies, and you get to enjoy the race. So we don't really set a goal necessarily, just really want to promote everyone to come out and have a good time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you coming in today,
Yeah,
Jordan.
no problem.
If you are interested in the muck run, we will put the website up. Is there anywhere else that they can go to do
They
that?
can call into the office.
Yep.
They can come in and visit.
Yeah.
And yeah, pretty much
Awesome.
anytime.
Perfect. That's great. Thank you so much, Jordan, for coming in. We
no
appreciate
problem.
it. Thanks.
Caden Nixon joins us now here at the CN Sportsplex. And Caden, tonight you are actually participating in the game. So let's talk a little bit about your hockey background really quickly off the top here.
I've been playing hockey in Lashburn since I was just a young kid. I'm just happy I get to come out and help a good cause, get to meet some of the young kids, and just have a good time.
Now, you mentioned a good cause, being able to participate in this, and for you, you're from this area, so what does this mean for you to be able to be a part of this tonight?
I'm just happy I got to be involved with this because, again, it's for a good cause. I get to meet new people, and it's just a good experience all around.
Now, this event is very much put on by the students and the teachers here. So let's talk about your contributions for tonight and heading into tonight as well.
Well, like you said, it's for the students. The kids had to fundraise $100 or more, and then other kids had to get stuff ready for the silent auction and the bidding and stuff like that, just to help make a little bit more money with it. And in the end, it all goes to Tell a Miracle, and this is just our way of helping out.
Now let's talk about your favorite part of tonight.
Just playing the good old hockey game, I'd say. It's fun and relaxing.
That's what I like to hear. Tonight, 7 o'clock at the CN Sportsplex here in Lashburn. Come out, $5 for adults, $3 for kids. So come on down. All money goes to Tell a Miracle. That is tonight at 7 o'clock. But for now, let's head back into the studio where Connor has one more look at your weather in this hour.